Good morning, I think. Got half an hour or so. I'm going to carry on with this domed inner wing on the Morris. I took some advice off of some comments and I've purchased some new drill bits. I need to prime up the other inner wing as well on the other side, which I'm going to do first before I start drilling out the old one. I'm going to see how it goes and see how loose things get, and I'll make a decision whether I need to brace things up or not. And the dogs are already woofing right on cue. So there you go, lucky you and me. So these are the drill bits I've got. I've got various sizes here. Probably going to use the smallest one. I think it's about 7mm or so. I don't know. What we're going to do with these is find the pop rivets where we can, like the one there, for example. You can see the old one has a little bit of a habit of creeping around. That was a practice. There's one there. There'll be one here somewhere. So yeah, I wanted to start taking this out. You can see how corroded everything is. I mean, it lines up here. I mean, this isn't bolted down or anything. But once this is out, and this is bolted down properly, which is dried now, which is great. So I can line that through a little bit, I guess. We can then start messing around with things. This has dried nicely. I'm quite pleased with that. Actually, let's check on the inside. Did I get everywhere? Yeah, I think I did. It's pretty good. Just need to do this side, which I'm going to do first. And then I can start drilling, and hopefully by the time I finish drilling, that will have dried, and I might be able to offer it up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be honest with you. I mean, I've got to get in here somehow and find where that's all welded. Oh, it's hard to see under here. I probably need to, well, we'll definitely need to take some of this off, the old undersill. You can see it's called the kidney scuttle plate. That's this part here, which on mine is really, I think, quite corroded at the bottom. Down here, yeah, I mean, it's you can't really see, but it's missing. So that might have to be a plate, because I've looked into getting a replacement for that, and they're not available at the moment. So that will need replacing. This is the edge of it here turning through, and it comes down to about here, I guess. I've also ordered a new floor pan with the section. I don't know how much of it I'm going to use. It's so badly corroded in that corner that it definitely needs something. Really is remarkable, if you look back through the videos, how much optimism I had before we started getting the old wire brush on it properly. So yeah, a little bit of work to do. I mean, it's all part of the fun, I guess. We'll see. So I'm going to start spraying up and then poking around a little bit, and I'll get the camera back on when there's something to see. Cool, so that side's sprayed up now. If you're worried about my wonderful rug here and how messy it is pretty filthy anyway. I can always turn it over when I have wonderful guests coming around to laugh at my stupid mistakes. So yeah, I let that dry off. Set the drill up with the new drill bit, and yeah, start poking around. I really want to drill this out. I mean, do you know what? It's going to fall off, isn't it? I don't want to cut this out. I want to be nice and careful, and just take my time over it and take it out as one piece. Not so sure about these reinforcing pieces here, by the way. I haven't seen them on everything. Oh, and I didn't, there it is, look. Found these were only a few quid each. They're the bump stops, but the bottom bump stops, I suppose. But can't get it out of the bag. It's very hard to do things with one hand. Surprisingly enough, I can't afford a cameraman. Goodness, listen to me, what an idiot. I don't want to afford a cameraman. This isn't my job. This is a hobby. It becomes my job, I've either made a mistake, or got very lucky. So yeah, these go, where do these go? Something like that. Might be the other way around. And they stop. Let's put it on the side that's actually got suspension, would be a good idea. Goes in there, and it stops the arm from hitting the underside of the arm, hitting the chassis or the wing. I mean, I don't know how needed it really is. I mean, this has been I've probably over the years done well over 20,000 miles on this, and there's not a mark on it. So, but maybe that's because it sits low. So when I raise it, it might have the potential to drop further. I don't know. But they were like £4-5 each. Thought worth having. And the only reason I noticed it is because of the new holes here that are a lot more visible. So as for this reinforcing, I'm not sure. I think that's been put on because of the aftermarket shock absorbers, which I intend on losing anyway. I don't see the need in them. Although this one needs replacing. I've noticed it started to weep a little bit. So either seals or reconditioning. But that's miles away. Let's sort these holes out first. So thank you to who suggested I get the cobalt drill bits. You're right. Much better. So started with these. Well, that's the old one. These ones here. Starting to come away a bit there, you can see. Still need to probably get into there and other places. Thinking about it, although this is all loose, you can see my hand through here where that tyre plate extension is. I do need to unpick this, unfortunately. So that means I've got to take all this inner seal off. Probably apparently bleeding obvious to most people. And then I can poke around. This plate here is interesting because is it interesting to people like me and you? It's interesting. There's obviously a repair there. That's just a seam weld through there by the looks of it. So I do need to cut that part out. That's rock solid. This bit, I don't know. I really don't know what's holding this on. It must be another. Well, it's not that. That's for sure. Another spot weld somewhere around here. Obviously, I think I've come to realise that I need to change this bumper mount as well. Everything needs to be changed. Look at it. It can't stay. So, yeah, back on the grinder to get rid of the undercut body. I've got these, which I've been using to quite good effect. These are fantastic, but the flat part of the disc, you can see it doesn't really get into where I need. I started quickly. So I'll start with the coned one and then move on to that probably. I don't know. So I'll get that cleaned off and bring you back in. Oh, right on cue, the dogs, isn't it? It's every time. Anyway, so I managed to get in there. I think that there's been quite a bit of bodgery here in the past. Sorry for the sniffing, it's a bit cold today. Might be a few spot welds there. A bit of nothing there. So it's going to be a bit of easing and adjusting. I can't really see anything through here. You can see this was a plate. So I imagine that's... Oh, I don't know. Maybe I do need to do some cutting. But we'll start chipping away at it now and see what we're left with. Oh, someone's cutting their grass. Spring must be here. Excellent. Right, we've got some dogs coming to do some inspections, haven't we? Jet? Yeah, that's it. And where's Phoebe? There she is. Phoebe? Good girl. Can you sit down for me? Phoebe? Phoebe? Will you sit down, you little dog? Oh, Phoebe, you're going to sit down. Sit down. Sit. See, I'm as good at training dogs as I am welding and mechanics. Phoebe, sit down, darling. I've got a treat. You guys sit down. I'm going to pretend I've got a treat. That's it. Good girl. Sit down. No, useless. Useless dog. Oh, there you go. Oh, no, you're not useless. So Phoebe is getting on for 3. She's absolutely lovely. Aren't you, darling? Aren't you? Yeah, you are lovely. Jet isn't 1. He's probably about 9 or 10 months. He's a bloody nutter. Absolute nutter. So you wanted to come in just to see if I'm all right, and now you want to go out. Okay. Jet, Jet, darling, you gonna sit down? Are you gonna sit down, Jet? No, Jet, sit down. Actually, Jet, go and run around the garden. Go and run around the garden. Yes. What training? What training? Off they go. Anyway, I'm poking around here. There's a funny little weld thing here. I'm digging all this out rather than cutting it. Then I'm going to cut through there and then start teasing it out that way. Yeah, that's it really. Just want to show you the dogs more than anything. Okay, so I've just been unstitching this, which has been a bit tricky around here because you can see it's plates onto plates onto plates. It's a real mess. This is why, listen, the dogs, they just know, don't they? So this is why I feel like we need to tackle all of this, really. It's just, there's nothing really left. I'm going to keep this place in place for as long as I can, because I can use this one hole that's left. I mean, there's nothing left of that. This one hole that's left to line up with that, which can help me set the tie plate. Sorry for sniffing, which can help me set the extension tie. And I can sort of work from this corner back. I know I've got to get the hinge plates and the A post correct, but there's a little bit of wiggle room through here. I can set the front with the tie bar. It sits, I guess that's what it's called. It sits across the radiator, across the top of the radiator, and I can still use the other side as a template. So yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's coming out. Had to nip another little bit out just behind here. I have realised that the bulkhead cross member, where are we? Here. That comes through to about here. So I do need to have a little look around there and see how we're going to get this part out. I've got a feeling I might have to cut that out because it's been overplated for this naff looking bit of shock absorber, aftermarket shock absorber. So I'm going to start having a look around here. Looks like we do have some spot welds, which is good because I'm finding them really quite easy to take out. If we can get to where we can get to, I think we can take this piece out. Yeah. Oh, and a little note to self, I forgot that angle grinder cutting discs are effectively paper, and I trod on it and it's knackered. I've got a few more, but I will need to order some. So just a mini update really. Yeah, all starting to come away. I know that I've got to cut the the equivalent behind the wiper motor there, the reinforcing part for the bump stop. I'll just put a cut through there just for that to come out with the rest of it. So yeah, just chipping away. Oh dear. One step forward, two steps back, methinks. Things have not gone too well. Well, they're going well, look. It's coming out nicely. Look, it's all loose around here, and I started to work on this area around here. And uh-oh, what's this you can see? Oh, you can't see anything because I haven't turned the camera around. I'm going to do that now. So I start to unstitch all this. This is going quite nicely. This is coming out. And then you can see this. I've started to have a poke around. Oh, and it's not good. So I think we've got, and there's a big pile of rust, which is even worse. Oh, so you can see there is a plate here. Oh, there we are. And I've been poking around with my trusty Poundland screwdriver, and it's just coming away. There's nothing really. There's nothing holding this on. There's a bit of welding at the back there, but this seam's totally gone. Oh, it's a real mess. It's a real mess in there. So I need to definitely take this steering rack out. I was hoping not to, but it's inevitable, I guess. And have a poke around in here. I'm hoping that the actual, I mean, the structure's solid. I think he's saying. I mean, I didn't expect to find this. I knew there was some work around here, let's be honest. It looked like there'd been a lot of work around here. I'm lying on my back now, just to let you know. And I knew there was some form of plate there, but, you know, I didn't really consider that. So I'm going to continue with my plan on getting this domed inner wing out, and then tacking in, not even tacking, bolting, tech screwing, whatever I need to do. Let's sit up, this is uncomfortable. Whatever I need to do. Well, no, maybe I take it out, because look, once that's out, I've got much better access. Take it out, brace it up with bolts onto there. So this flat wing, inner wing stabilised. The car's on dolly there, so I can still move it around. I can then take the steering rack out and then have a proper look in there and plate up or do whatever I need to do. So, such fun. Really is such fun, isn't it? What a journey we're going on. God. Do you know what? If I hadn't owned this from when I was 19, it wouldn't be worth it. It would not be worth it. Why would you do this? You can go out and you can buy a perfectly decent light commercial vehicle that probably isn't quite as peppered. Or maybe it is. That's the problem. Maybe they're all like this. They probably are. They're all ancient and knackered. So anyway, I'm going to continue with my plan of chipping away at this, which is fantastic because I think it's just going to fall to pieces here. And then, and here, and here. It's all just going to fall to pieces, which is wonderful news. So I can get this domed inner wing out and take stock of the situation and assess next steps. If the next step is steering rack out, I think it might be a nice thing to do with my dad. And we can scratch our heads together. So another exciting episode with Father. We shall see. Right. You might be wondering, what's he done? Well, I warn you, I've gone totally off-piste. I've done nothing I said I was going to do. And I've just chopped that bit out. Reason being, which is in my hand here, I'm struggling to get into where I need to get to and be easy to get around things. So with this, I mean, it's barely anything holding it together anyway, just oodles of rust and misery. So it's gone. This gives me better ability to get into these tricky bits here. I still don't know about these reinforced pieces next to the behind the shock absorbers. Is this a LCV add-on, like commercial? I don't know. I'm going to do a little poking around into that and see what I need to do. Because looking at it, actually, Graham, think properly, what a lovely place to have as a guide for the new inner wing. Because it should, give or take, line up with the hole. But at least it gives me some kind of templatey thing to work to. And it's solid, it's thick still. So I've got to pick away at this. I don't think it's spot welded. And then what I was struggling at was getting this piece out here. I started to try and bring it in through here, but no luck. So maybe I'll start coming down the side of that thickening section, like I was saying, and get into there. I think I'm going to save that for another day, though. I'm feeling got other things to do, and I need to have a good think about how I'm going to approach that bloody great hole we found behind there. So yeah, I think I'll be on it next couple of days probably. Yeah, it hasn't been very good actually, I don't think. Well, it's been good. We found problems, and I suppose that's to be expected. But there we are. So the next one I'll probably get the rest of that inner wing out and assess the situation. Right, thank you.